let that sink in. Won their first 2 games in this group.
Yep.
There it was. Qualification, palm of your hand, very early. Won with a counter-attacking game in Paris. The trouncing that he gave Leipzig, I've always said to you, it was an anomaly because they were outplayed for most of the game. What the hell Leipzig happened to them in the second half, I'll never know. But that is their Achilles heel defensively, and it almost cost them tonight again. The only other game they won was at home to Beşiktaşir. I mean, they lost in Turkey.
Yeah.
I mean, that sums it up. Look, let this. Manchester.
Craig,
go on.
Craig, when you have only one way to play a game and you concede a goal because you play in counter-attack, and we talk about Tottenham a lot, they are first in the Premier League and they only defend and play in counter-attack, which is also the case of Manchester United. When you plan with 3 defenders at the back, you plan to defend and to play in counter-attack with Leipzig, but you concede a goal after 2 minutes. What can you do when you have only one way to defend? How can you change your tactic? That's the main problem.
So, the scouting department obviously never told United that Angelino likes to get forward, who, by the way, is a Man City outcast.
Everything was going down that flank, wasn't it?
Everything was going down that left-hand side. Wan-Bissaka got no help whatsoever, none. But look at it, Manchester United, middle of the park, McTominay and Matic. I mean, really?
But then how much is that? We obviously see the Leipzig side, and I want to talk about Leipzig. I do in a moment. But you mentioned the fact that the board have not particularly backed Solskjaer. So how much blame should he receive when you take a look at the backing that other clubs, you mentioned Chelsea. Yeah. Well, and who did Solskjaer have to bring off the bench?
Well,
no one today.
This was the problem Mourinho had as well, because he looked at the board and he thought, clueless. Just clueless in their transfer policy. And that is a problem. Recruitment is a problem. But so is the manager. We know the manager is in there because he was an ex-player who came in and put some fires out short term, and then they gave him the job. Oh, this is great. There you go, give him the job. And we know that his former teammates in the UK will not say anything against him. We know that. It's everybody else's fault. It's De Gea's fault, it's the player's fault, it's Woodward's fault. But they haven't got the stomach to say Solskjaer had done nothing in his managerial... Let's be honest. If you're going to get one of these top jobs, if you're going to get the Liverpool job, the City job, any of these top jobs, Bayern Munich, you have to have something. You have to have done something in your CV that says managing a huge club. He hadn't, apart from coming in for a 3-month period, putting his arm around a few people and putting some fires out. So whilst it's not all his fault, they're not going to go forward with 1 bit of recruitment and 2, a proper manager in there. A proper manager like we see at other clubs, who can go in, who can coach, who can get the tactics right, and has got a CV that says, I can manage Manchester United and get them back amongst the big boys. But that being said, I still will say that the ownership are doing none of these managers that come in any favours. But the question I would ask myself, if a really good manager was in there, would they be better than they are? And I think the answer is yes. Not good enough to be challenging in the Champions League, but better than they are.
Let me just add to that, Dan. I mean, listen, I understand the excuses offered to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in terms of the board not really backing him. And that's true to a sense. But at the same time, who has improved under Solskjaer? Who is playing better football? Bruno Fernandes came in January and had probably the best 6 months of anybody in the league. I'm not sure you can say that this time around in the first 2 or 3 months of this season. For the spending or lack of, or however you want to interpret it, everybody in that dressing room has regressed. So that is also a concern when you are talking about who needs to manage this club in the long term and who you trust with money long term.
Mark, listen, your diary.
Oh,
you got a diary?
No, I don't think people really have diaries anymore.
Mark it on your phone.
Right, okay.
Until this manager leaves his club, we're going to be having this same conversation every 2 to 3 weeks.
So what do I put it in? Like every week? Like on a Tuesday? How does this work?
I'm telling you, we've had this conversation so many times. This conversation is going to continue until they make the correct decisions. We're going to be sitting here saying, well, got a couple of good results, look better, bang, disaster. Trust me, every 3 weeks.
I'm sorry, Leipzig fans. I did want to talk a bit and give you credit, obviously, for advancing. We will talk
They
about...
had no Upamecano either.
No Upamecano, obviously, as well. 3-3 against Bayern, then 3-2 against Manchester United. What a great couple of results for them. We'll talk about them maybe on extra time. You can check that out over on our YouTube channel. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPNFC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN+.